This was an interesting show. This show gave us not much kind of match-wise, but gave us quite a bit like behind the scenes. And I think the reason for that was because this was taped. We did get quite a big traditional Survivor Series match, but the other matches were relatively short. There wasn't really loads to those two tournament matches or even the women's advantage match. I found that they kind of ended a lot sooner than what I was anticipating. Again, we have to remember this show was taped after last week's episode, and so, you know, I think they were just trying to get through it, to be honest. So yes, this was obviously a go-home show. It felt like a go-home show. I don't think we really got anything really major other than maybe the Wyatt SICKS at the end of the show. So what we'll do is we'll blast through the points and we'll see what there was to kind of dissect and take from this episode. We started with LA Knight learning that he was going to face a mystery opponent in the Last Time Is Now tournament. He was not happy about it, right? And you can sort of understand. I don't know if they're teasing something here that we're going to do like LA Knight against an authority figure, but he said every time I start to get a little something going, somebody wants to try and cut my legs out. Someone wants to stack the deck against me. Someone basically wants to make sure that I can't make the rise that I'm destined to make. Is that Triple H? Is that Triple H that he's talking about? Or is it maybe like a Nick Aldis type character? Is he talking about like Triple H and head of creative stacking the deck against him? Or is he talking about Nick Aldis, the kind of storyline GM? Don't know. Is that a little glimpse of somewhere that we could be heading in the near future? I thought those comments were interesting, right? First match that we went to after that was Jey against Rusev. Jey, of course, doing his big entrance. There was a sign in the crowd that said push Drew. There was another sign in the crowd that said on December 14th, I'm done watching wrestling, which I thought was quite fun. I don't think they're being serious, but clearly we know December 13th is John Cena's last match. So they said on December 14th, I'm done watching wrestling. This was Jey against Rusev. Honestly, you lot scored it good 82. There wasn't really too much to it. It felt like the pace was a little bit slow. There wasn't really too much to get excited about during the match. Jey managed to get the victory. So Jey beats Rusev to advance in the tournament. Good 82%. To be honest, that's quite a low score from you guys. Backstage, we had this moment with R-Truth. And he was talking about his balls and about how Nick doesn't want his American balls, but R-Truth respects Nick's British balls. And I did enjoy this. I thought this was pretty fun. So, yeah, I totally missed this during our live stream. People in the chat letting me know. But this moment here, I was too busy focused on R-Truth's balls. I mean, like, I thought we all would have been. But whilst we were talking about those balls, The Miz doing a little switcheroo. So whilst Nick is distracted by Truth, The Miz pulls a fast one and manages to get himself back into the tournament. So whilst R-Truth was talking about all the balls and we were thinking about balls and I was mentally picturing balls, The Miz was doing some Miz things and finding a way of getting himself back into that tournament. Then we went to this moment where we had Zelina and Damian Priest. And then we just saw Alistair kind of flash up in the background. So the last time anyone was talking about you was when Alistair burned your face off. So seems like this feud is far from done. Something else that's far from done is the love between Rhea and Damian. So Terra twins briefly reunited. Okay, here's Johnny Gargano. It's the most wonderful time of the year. He's got his Christmas tree set up, and look what's at the very top of it. It is the Axiom mask. Here's Axiom. He said, at least they know who the star is. That got tweeted out during tonight's SmackDown, and it did make me smile. I thought that was very good. Right, then we had the Chelsea Green Championship celebration, and yeah, Jade came down. Now, we had a bit of a conversation about Jade during our watch-along, because Jade, to me, is someone that we haven't quite got clicking yet. I didn't think it clicked when she was with Bianca in that tag team. And I think part of the problem was we were all expecting Jade to turn on Bianca. So we were just waiting for the turn, right? And then, of course, she gets murked by Naomi, and we do all of that stuff. And there's been that feud this year. Then eventually she does turn heel, and now she's managed to get the championship. Now, we haven't seen what she's like as champion. We haven't really started her run yet, but this is someone that they've had high hopes for a long time. She's been on the main roster now for a couple of years. We've been building her up. She's been doing the tag team stuff. She's been having matches at PLEs. They've pulled the trigger. Is it too soon for her to be a world champion? Has she worked it out? Are they hoping that she's going to work it out whilst being champion? I don't know, right? But what I do know was that there was just a little moment backstage where she was kind of throwing shade. She had just murked Chelsea. So she interrupts Chelsea's title celebration. And there was just a little moment backstage where she says a few words, throws a few dirty looks, and kind of walks away. And she's just kind of like murking everyone at the moment. Doesn't matter if you're a heel, doesn't matter if you're a face. And there was just this little flicker of like a bit of a badass, a little bit of aura. And I've got to be honest, she's never someone that has really grabbed me. She's never someone that I've really kind of rooted for or have kind of felt very excited to watch. But there was just this little moment, this little flicker, and I was like, I think I can see what we're trying to achieve. The problem she's going to have is, can she back it up when it's time to cut that live promo in the ring? Can she back it up when it's time to have that championship match? And you've got to deliver something that's championship quality, not just mid-card, not just tag title, world title. Is she going to be able to do that? I'd imagine a lot of people are going to say no, and that's understandable. I don't think we've seen loads of evidence. Maybe this is a bit too soon. But there was just a little flicker backstage where I was like, I do see what we're trying to achieve. I did like this moment, though. Chelsea was waiting for her pyro. She just got murked by Jade. And, of course, she's down. And then the pyro goes off and she's livid about it. I did enjoy that bit. She was like, you're going to be so impressed with all this fireworks and pyro we've got lined up. We're going bigger than ever because I deserve it. And there she is on her knees after being murked. And then the pyro goes off. Backstage, as we said, here was Jade's. This was a statement to the entire women's locker room. If they've got a problem with it, they can step up and get stepped on. And yeah, there was just a little moment there where B-Fab and Michin were kind of around. Michin suggesting that she was going to have to take things into her own hands to kind of put Jade in her place. So I don't think we've got many good feuds for Jade lined up this side of Christmas. I think there's probably a really good chance we bring Bianca back, and then we do Jade Bianca as we head toward. I mean, if you told me now the plan is Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania, I mean, that just makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? I can see that. Right, moving on. We had our next match, Miz against LA Knight. So LA Knight manages to defeat the Miz and advance to the semi-final. So all that work by the Miz came to nothing. I know that there'll be a bit of moaning and groaning. People wanted that mystery person to be a bit more exciting. This obviously was a tape show, so spoilers were already out there. So I think people knew who it was, many of you, right? For those that didn't, I can understand the disappointment. I do think, though, it should have been someone that was already in round one. I don't think it was right to put someone in that hadn't been in the tournament already, because this was a later round. So it probably did need to be someone that was in round one. And the way that they got The Miz to be that person was kind of interesting. So, yeah, I'm not really too down on all of this. We've said as well, we kind of know where this is going. So it's kind of hard to get upset about this tournament, regardless of what they do, because we kind of know that Gunther's winning. So LA Knight going through, Miz going through, Jey going through, Rusev going through, Penta, Solo. Who cares? At the end of the day, that's the guy that we're all expecting to win. So that's the guy that we're expecting to, you know, emerge victorious. And honestly, we're down to our final four. It's going to be one of these. It's going to be Jey. It's going to be LA Knight. It's going to be Gunther. It's going to be Solo. It's going to be one of these four that face John Cena. I think of the four, Gunther makes the most sense. I think you can make an argument those two are tied in second place. It'd be a good push for LA Knight. And Jey is someone they really believe in. So they're in second place, joint. I think he's bottom of the pile for me. I think he's got a problem right now with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt SICKS. I don't think that's the right direction. So I've got him as favourite. We expect him to win anyway. Maybe those two in joint second place and then Solo, the least likely to win. I think the final is probably going to be Jey, Gunther. Maybe we run back WrestleMania and maybe this is where Gunther gets one over on Jey. Jey beating Gunther at WrestleMania and then Gunther beating Jey so that he can go on to face John. I could see something along those lines. Backstage, we had Becky. She said she's 100% in War Games matches. She was like, follow my leads. Just follow my leads. You know, when we're in the cage, leave it to me. I'll get the job done. We found out that it would be Charlotte against Asuka in the advantage match on SmackDown. And she was quite funny. She was like, I'm not even worried about it. The last time I faced Charlotte, she was out for a whole year. I'm not even worried about it. It's a very un-Asuka line. It's not the kind of thing you would expect her to come out with. So I did enjoy that. There was another Kyrie moment, but it was a bit more subdued actually this week. Wasn't as big as what we normally see. No Ilya Open Challenge, but again, he did one last week and this was a tape show. So we probably didn't want to make him do 2 weeks in a row on the same night. So somehow he's got the mask, even though it's been tweeted out that it's around Johnny's house, but whatever. Tommaso with that Axiom mask, and basically Ilya called him a jackass again. So there we go. That seems to be building to maybe Ilya Tamatonga, but ultimately we're going to get Tommaso against Ilya. Then we got to this match. So this was Charlotte against Asuka, and Asuka with the mist, spitting that mist out and actually misting a technician guy, someone in production. Charlotte moving out of the way. And a big, big thank you to SlamX. Genuinely, a lot of people, I think, kind of sat this show out. Normally, when I'm watching a show, on my notifications, there's just loads of activity, loads of chatter, loads of reaction. Not there wasn't for this week. This tape show, I don't know if people decided to spend time with their family instead, just look at the results and just leave it at that. But honestly, it was really quiet. But the one person that was constantly putting out like really good updates was SlamX. So I'm a massive fan of SlamX. I'm a massive fan of what they do. And it was funny because during our watch long, I was like, oh, that was funny. When Charlotte stepped on Asuka, Asuka made a little squeal, a little funny noise. And yeah, SlamX was like, here you go, wrestling days. So really do appreciate that. Well worth. How many followers have they got actually? Well worth a follow. 4,500. That should be much higher, honestly. I think if you are someone that wants like really good updates and you can't join our watch along, or you're just like, you know, out and about, I think SlamX is an excellent follow on X. Let's have a look at this. It'd be moody, wouldn't it, to not play it now? After all of that, just go, yeah, I can't be bothered, and just move on. No, we'll play it. In position. Yeah. I need that as loud as possible. Yeah. It did make me laugh.
In position.
I don't know why it tickles me so much. It's just one of those silly, weird little things that really doesn't matter or mean anything, but it does just tickle me.
In position.
Yeah. So there we go. It was Asuka really selling being stepped on by Charlotte. Charlotte would go on to get the victory, and it would mean that they will have the advantage at Survivor Series. So Charlotte pinning Asuka and picking up the advantage. Right, then we got to our main event. So this was a traditional kind of elimination match. It was MFTs going up against Sammy, Motor City Machine Guns, Rey Fenix, and Shinsuke Nakamura. So we'll just kind of blast through this because obviously there was some good stuff in here. I can tell you, Jey Rusev, good 82. Miz, LA Knight, good 88. Asuka, Charlotte, good 88. All the match quality tonight really struggled. But then we got to this one. And we got ourselves to quite a good place on this one. You said this was great 54. So let's go through this, shall we? So we had... Oh, I think we've skipped some. We had... We've gone back to that now. The first elimination was JC. Here we go. So the first elimination was Chris Sabin eliminating JC. The second elimination was Tama Tonga eliminating Shinsuke. Slamak said, I like the detail of him pinning a former US champion, considering Tama wants to face Ilya in the future. Honestly, a little detail that passed me by, so very well spotted. Rey Fenix eliminated Tonga Loa. Then we had Tama Tonga eliminating Alex Shelley. Then we had Tama Tonga eliminating Rey Fenix. So this meant it was Sammy in a 3-on-1. Let's just have a little recap. So here we can see that we still had Tama Tonga, Tala Tonga, and Solo against just Sami Zayn. All the others had been eliminated 3-on-1. Right? This was a traditional elimination Survivor Series match. And basically, Sammy would manage to get rid of Tama Tonga with a haluva. Then we would see a count out for Tala Tonga. That would get us down to Solo and Sammy. And good little battle. Really fun. I like the closing elements of this one. Solo would win clean. Granted, Sammy did have to overcome Tala in order to get it to 1-on-1. So I don't think Sammy really loses any aura or anything here. But a good win for Solo and the MFTs. They get the victory. They should have got the victory. I mean, they are a proper faction, a proper group, taking on just a load of baby faces that were thrown together. So it was right for them to win. But then, of course, we get what might have been the highlight of the night. Probably the best moment for those that are into the Wyatt Six. There they were. The Fireflies were out. They confronted Solo on the edge of the ring. And in the ring, just behind, was Uncle Howdy. Sister Abigail laid out Solo. And there we go. Uncle Howdy is back. Sister Abigail connected. And yeah, goods. I mean, what I will say about this show, taped, you could have missed it. You wouldn't really have missed anything. I think the traditional Survivor Series match was good. There was a couple of funny moments, I thought, like R-Truth, I thought was pretty fun. The Chelsea segment, I thought was pretty fun. Charlotte stepping on Asuka, I enjoyed. There was a few fun moments. We got a pretty fun ending. It was a tape show. A lot of these, I think the mystery person will have disappointed some people. But it was fine. It was a perfectly fine watch. I'd probably give it like 6.25, something like that. It was a perfectly fine watch. Are there better SmackDowns? Yes. But this was fine. It was a go-home show. I didn't hate it. I had a bit of fun with it. And on we go to Survivor Series. So Jason, Chatru, and Mayor Pete's I appreciate you guys becoming members of the channel. It's not just members, though, that we're going to be streaming to tomorrow. It's everyone that we're going to be streaming to tomorrow. We are going to start 2 hours before the countdown show. We're going to be talking about Survivor Series. We'll go through the countdown show. We'll get to Survivor Series. We'll do live reactions throughout the whole thing. We're here for hours and hours and hours tomorrow, or later today, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope we get something really significant. You know, give me a Randy Orton return. Give me a Jey Uso heel turn. Give me something that I can really get my teeth into, because I'm looking for something to go down, and a few things to go down that's going to really set up 2026. I want to be excited about 2026, and I'm kind of hoping that Survivor Series is going to help build that excitement. So that's what I'm looking for from Survivor Series, and as we said, we'll be around hours before that countdown show so that we can start building and getting excited for everything that's going to go down. So there we go. That was SmackDown. I thought it was fine. I understand it was a bit skippable, but I think you can find a few fun things in it. And yeah, have a good evening, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow for Survivor Series. Bye for now.